Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where I'm having fun with virtual trains, trucks, planes, ships and try to not go bankrupt in the process. Before we begin today's episode, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button and use the bell to stay up to date with my latest content. I would also like to encourage you to join my Discord server, where you can interact with me and other Transport Fever fans, talk about the game and mods, or just chill. You can find link in description down below this video. So, welcome back, and in today's episode we are going to continue our efforts to expand Shaftesbury station. In fact, in previous episodes we almost managed to finish with that. We built the core of the station, we designed some platforms, its layout. We started to deliver passengers around the town. We set up first lines that refer to like some sort of fuel production. So basically we set a solid foothold in Shaftesbury. The only thing that we are missing is a connection with our main line, or with any sort of like a rail line, so that we can start moving passengers around, so that we can start eventually trading with other towns and do all that amazing stuff. However, before we will do that, we need to design station approach. We need to make sure that trains are able to reach the platforms. There are also a few other things that have changed since previous episode. So let me switch to the game window so we won't forget to do that. And now we can see beautiful station of Shaftesbury. So there were a few changes from the last episode. First of all, I managed to make speed limits work around the station. Eventually I found out that using those tracks that doesn't have icons, basically, well, those tracks works, so I can set up speed limits around various places, so that's good. Also, you probably noticed that there is a little bit less tracks. I removed one of the tracks that was going along this platform and replaced it with normal mainline track. What else happened? Well, I moved a cargo platform a little bit closer, so now we got pass-through tracks, cargo platforms, 2 of them for now, and 3 platforms that can operate with passengers. I also removed that crossover that was built in the middle. I originally planned to actually split these 2 tracks into basically 4 platforms that could operate with the passengers. The problem with that is the roof that I used. So whenever I will delete those 2 tracks and turn them into normal pass-through tracks where I could eventually install any sort of junctions, it messes up with the roof and it looks awfully bad, and technically it doesn't fit the station anymore. So I decided that these are going to be normal station tracks and we won't mess around with any sort of junctions. We'll make sure that our trains are able to reach those platforms far before in station approach instead. So that's what we will try to design. We got output tracks that are going to act as our core. So let's focus on the mainline track, which is basically pass-through track. That's going to be our basically like the spine of our project. So let me just find 120 kilometer track. There we go. Is that that's the one? Okay, so I got it. So let's extend this one. We don't have to worry about this crossing for now. That will be rebuilt definitely. So I got three tracks that are approaching various platforms. Originally I'm planning to have this platform to head only one way, this platform to head only one way, and the last platform, which is basically the platform number 1, which is going to be a two-way platform. And that's how I'm going to design the entire station. So when we will connect something on the other side, and eventually I will have passed through trains that are just stopping, passing through instead of returning, they will be directed into platform number 3, which will eventually take passengers further to, I think it's north side. I already lost track. Yeah, I need to start marking those directions somehow. Anyway, that's the main plan about it. So for now, with our first connection, we need to connect the most external track into the main line somehow. Right, let's extend it even further. That's going to be needed. I'm absolutely sure about it. Right, so we got double tracked line, and now what we should do with those. There are multiple options. We can just drag them in and basically create a junction and connect the other track, and that should be it. I'm really tempted to do it that way, in fact. The problem with it is this track would be occupied for way longer than I expected. Right. Maybe we should start from this track instead. So if I would, let's say, drag it up to here. In fact, what I can do, get rid of that. So I got some space to maneuver with the tracks. And now, it is definitely going to be a long approach. I'm not going to make it any short. In fact, what I can do, triple tracks, nah. It's not that bad idea. But oh no, it doesn't want to let me through. So I would eventually have to get onto this track somehow. There we go. Yeah, I would have to join this track first. In fact, if I would join this track from the other side as well, and then just do a crossing, would this work? Well, it would. Okay, let's try this approach. So I will have two junctions at the same place, one for cargo station, the other one for passenger station. And basically, from this track, we will just extend the second one. Oh, why is it not cooperating with me? Right, that is one long junction, but I believe it's going to work well. If I would eventually drag it a little bit longer. Yeah. now it needs to join this track. Okay, I got this box on the side, so I would like to get it perhaps, yeah, up until this point. I think that's a good distance. I'm not going to install any signal in here. The last signals will be on those tracks separately, so that trains that are leaving from the platform can basically stop somewhere here in a safe position before trains will have to eventually merge with the rest of the traffic. And that's how I plan to solve this issue. Similar thing will go to this track, I guess. It's not the most efficient way to do that, mostly because this track would eventually be heavily occupied. But I think that will be doable. In fact, what I can do is to make only these two tracks to share it and join the third track separately to the main line using separate set of junctions. Mostly because that would be reserved for trains that will just pass through, jump into the platform and jump out. That actually makes sense. We can try this approach. Let's see how this would work. So if I would join, let's say, this track somewhere here. Do I have enough space? That's a good question. No, there's not enough space to actually make a junction. But if I would push it back and then split a junction out of the main line, and in fact I could, yeah, if I would select 80 km/h track, that would technically let me go up to 60 kilometers, well 66, well 62. Yeah, separating 60 would in fact make sense. So if the train is stopping, then obviously it needs to slow down to 60, then jump down to 40 and approach the station. But it's only if the train is stopping. If the train is not stopping, we can just carry on and block the tracks for shorter. Okay, we will do that. It's gonna be weird for now. I will also take care of this track and make it a little bit more parallel to these two tracks for now. Yeah, let's bring it up to here and then let's join it with this track. How far can we go? We can in fact go quite far with that track. There we go. That actually looks good. Yeah, that is very, very good. How does that look? Yeah, everything is on even ground. Lovely. That's a good stuff. So yeah, we got track that is basically both ways. So it joins with the main line in here at the end. We got track that goes only in this direction. So it's gonna be equipped with, let me just get to the signals, there we go. So this is going to be equipped with one-way signal. And where do we need to put that signal? I think that's the closest we can get, because then the track is starting to turn towards the rest of the line. So this is not going to be two-way, well, one-way. However, it needs to stop the train in a safe position. Right. Now this thing is a one-way signal. So we can now put this one, I think if we can put it here and create a section right before a station, there we go. That's a good one. In fact, what I could do is that. So I don't want any signals in here. If that section is blocked, I want trains to wait somewhere here. In fact, where are tracks? I want high-speed junction in here. And by high speed, I mean 120 kilometers. And why is this not possible? Oh, are you kidding me now? There we go. It's not exactly even. For some reason it doesn't let me do this junction correctly. Well, it's still not bad. Yeah, I'll take it. It's acceptable, I guess. Right, so this is one way and this is one way. There we go. So we got proper approach. That is sorted. Signaling is for now sorted. These two needs to be two-way. So each track will get separate signal. And these are one-way signals. That's going this direction and that is heading this direction. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. That looks very, very good, in fact. Right, so at this point we will install a set of signals here. And we'll leave this as it is. Okay. I like this, how it is. Or as it is. Okay. Okay. That's brilliant. For now, I'm not installing any other signal than that. It is still tricky signal because putting this one in here creates a section of track. And the trains can eventually approach this section from the other direction. So if there is anything on the platform, then eventually two trains can, in theory at least, get stuck together. However, we won't let that happen because as soon as the station will become passed through, any train that will eventually continue, the route needs to be redirected to new set of platforms so that we can keep one-way system around platforms that can operate with such trains. Right. Anyway, we managed to compress all those platforms into double track. So from now on, we can basically continue in direction that we plan to go. So there are a few places that we want to reach. Definitely we would want to trade fuel with other towns at some point. And that other towns will be Sheringham, and Felixstowe. However, I also want to extend the main line to Seaton and set up basically another like a passenger train that is passing through Seaton and eventually goes to Carterton. So now we will split like passenger lines into two. Right. So that is creating another dilemma. How should I approach this topic? We are... Oh, I forgot to unlock the date. We are going to put it on so that new trains will unlock. Anyway, how do we approach the topic? I'm still a little bit, how do you call it? Unsure how to do it. Right, I will definitely join the main line here, and that's going to be a place where I will perform that split. So as soon as station approach ends, we are going down to double track, from where we will just split, just like that. Later on, when we will be rebuilding Seaton Station, which definitely needs some love, or will need some love when we start connecting more and more to it, then we will perhaps split it into like a proper 4-track approach with separate split off to cargo station. But for now, with the traffic that we have, I think that is enough of signaling, and that is enough of trackage that we have. Right, anyway, let's get to work. So I would like this track to extract towards this direction. Let me just make it a little bit higher so that I can cross from this track without causing like a quite terrible junction in here that will cause tracks to clip through each other and stuff like that. I had that in the past and it looks very awful. Right, this looks good. I'm happy with the result. Especially this track that actually is not clipping for a change, which is good. Right, so definitely we need a signal in here, and this is one-way signal. I need the trains to eventually stop here, and I need trains to eventually stop in here, because that is way too far. Now, if junction is clear, I think passing this signal would be wise to unlock the whole line. Okay, and this one can basically stay where it is, or I can just push it here and delete this one. There's no point in paying extra money for having extra signals that I don't need, and that entry signal is needed mostly because trains need to indicate, okay, we've cleared the junction, and now train heading towards different direction can eventually pass. Otherwise, entire junction is just blocked, and there's like a one train system in the game. So very often, entire junction can be blocked by a single train passing through it, which is really inconvenient, and it bottlenecks the traffic. Right. Let's now carry on with this one. How does this crossing look like? I like it, so I will fix it. Okay. How does it look now? It's actually good. Okay. I need to connect this farm with remaining part of the road, and in fact, how do I want to approach this topic again? I don't like the idea of getting crossing here. and I'm also not greatest supporter of idea of having a bridge. However, I could build a tunnel perhaps. Oops. I want a bendy road. Right. No, I definitely... Or maybe... If I would do that... That actually looks neat. It is quite expensive. Not the cheapest option, definitely. But it looks quite good. I could eventually do it like that. And it's even better. Yeah, that's how low I need to go to get it connected. But that makes a lot of space for me. And I don't need to create like a awfully looking bridge or something. That tunnel is actually pretty good. It also lets me expand this road, which will later on become a little bit wider to accommodate all the traffic. Right. I like it. Right. It's gonna cost me that 600,000, but I guess it's worth it. And now that the town is not complaining that something is not connected. Right, let's get back to building our main line. So let's just keep pulling that where we are. Okay, that's where the tracks are. So perhaps I could do a small tunnel. Okay, now I can pull it this way. Okay, that looks good. Let's see what kind of tunnel I can build. I can build this classic one. I can get a little bit modern one. Perhaps this one. Yeah, I like this, like a older looking tunnel, but it's slightly different than what I would usually build. How does it look on the other side? Yeah, it has like a bigger exit. I like it. I actually like this design. It's not one of those modern tunnels, which is good. We are in 1868 after all. So I don't want to design too modern tunnel, but I don't want to have something standard. So if we will double track it, how does it going to look? Yeah, I like it. I like the idea. It's not the cheapest option again, because tunnels are generally quite expensive. And those tracks are not so good. Not going to lie. There is a track clipping through ballast, and I hope that when I will be riding with the train, that will be fixed. Let's see how does it look in the other tunnels. There is one more tunnel that we got. Okay, it looks pretty much similar from the perspective of other tunnel, but from what I remember, when you travel with a train, it actually looks alright. So we'll test it when we will send first trains on that route. Anyway, let's pull these tracks here. Come on. Okay, it's all double tracked now. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we can set up some sectors. So that's one way. I think, is that far enough? Yeah, that's far enough and that's close enough at the same time. So that doesn't look too good, but I will even up this terrain to eventually reduce this awfully looking cliff or whatever that is. Yeah, let's make it look a little bit better for our build. I need to start paying much more attention to those details. Right, a set of signals before the tunnel and a set of signals right behind it. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me, the wrong side. Okay, that works. That's pretty long, but I think that's a good distance. Yeah, that's also a good distance. Perhaps somewhere closer. Yeah, that's the spirit. That's the one. That's the one. Perhaps, yeah, before. Yeah, before. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Perhaps. Yeah, that's good distance. That's nearly 300 meters, and this one seems to be, well, slightly longer stretch, but I think it's gonna be fine. Right, so we got that sorted. Now, let's get some trains running, so we can get some revenue from this newly built track. However, before that happens, it would be nice to set up a train route. Right. So let's get a new line. That's going to be another passenger line. Okay, Shaftesbury from platform 3 through Seaton and up to Carterton, back to Seaton, and there we go. Now let's set up the junctions. Okay, so that's one junction. Then Seaton is a one-way station, so each platform has its own direction. Carterton. Okay, Carterton. Yes, we are using the right platform. I was planning to actually use this side because Carterton is currently a return station, which means that, or rather end station for both routes. So there is no need for me to make those tracks one way. If we will connect anything on the other side, which most likely going to be a town which is here right now. Let me just first name this train line. So that is how this is called, rail passenger, is it? Yeah, rail passenger. It's been a while since I named any passenger route. I haven't been setting those for quite long time, mostly because in previous series, if somebody was actually watching that, well, I had one long main line, and basically there were there were three main lines that were running along the map, because map was 3:1 in scale, so there was not that much of naming in terms of passenger routes. However, there was quite a lot of cargo stations and quite a lot of cargo movement around this map. So yeah, it was slightly different. It presented slightly different challenges. Right, so how do we name this one? I think it's going to be like a North branch. Is it called North or South? I'm already confused. Oh my goodness me. Right, let's call it a south branch. Yeah. Where's that? Rail passenger. There we go. And that is going to be south line. Okay. Or okay, let's keep it simple. Carterton to Shaftesbury. Okay, and this one is no longer Carterton to Seaton. It is Carterton to Sheringham. Sheringham. There we go. It's not SS Sheringham, right? Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Now, the right color for this. What? Oh. No. There we go. That's the color selection. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right. Let's make it like turquoise. Yeah. Okay. That looks good. Right. So now we got 5.8 million in our bank, and it would be nice to actually send at least one train on this line, so it starts to generate some income for us. We won't send both of them. I will start from one and then copy it later, so that we can gain some money first. Obviously, I'm not going for any of those modern wagons. Don't worry about it. Right. We can use Borsig on this one, or no, these are too slow. I need something faster. For passenger trains, I would use something slightly faster. Jenny Lind, there we go. Yeah, Jenny Lind seems like a good idea. With weatherboard, that's for sure. And now let's get passenger wagons. Right. Do I want to go with generic British carriages? Well, they would be the most logical thing to do, because otherwise I got only Bavarian cars, which are slow. They are way too slow. Right, I will go with four-wheelers though. So it's still not as fast as it could be, but 72 kilometers per hour in 1868 is a good speed that we can achieve. Right. So our first, it's gonna be front brake. Do we want to go in? Instead of green, I would go with that white brown. Yeah, let's go for it. White brown. So that's front brake. Then let's put like 2 third classes, or perhaps 3. 2 first classes. I'm gonna make them green, so they will eventually look nice. 4-wheel brake. Okay, I know what you're thinking. So I will put this one in the middle as a 5th wagon. 2 of these, and rear brake car, and that's the one, right? Do I want to get first class? Yeah, let's make first class in the same color. So first class, 1, 2, and you are jumping through both of them. Fantastic. So that's our train. It's going to cost us only 2.7 million, so technically we could afford 2. But there is no point to send 2 trains right away, because it would be way too expensive. So Shaftesbury is going to be our goal. And the train is slowly rolling out. Obviously, if anyone has any good idea how to name it, you can always pop into to my Discord server and propose a good name for a train. It's a good reason to eventually log in, visit my Discord server, and eventually take part in community events or community actions that I might be holding around. Right, for some reason my train is being held here. Okay, perhaps that's because I don't have any sort of signaling in this area. Right, so that's a good occasion to eventually invest in some sort of signaling, because having some signals is definitely going to help me with train deployments and various other tasks that we might want to perform. Okay, now I got some sections of the track that we might use, and eventually the train is rolling out. Very good. That is very, very good. Okay, so signaling can be up until here. Yeah, good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so our beautiful train is rolling out. Let me just catch it. There we go. Yeah, isn't she beautiful? Just look at this design. Right, anyway, she's gonna be very, very slow, or this train is going to be very slow in this area, because obviously those trucks have 20 km/h limit. That's why it's rolling so slow. However, when we get to those signals, we are entering a main line which has higher speed limits and will allow this train to actually reach its proper speed. Right. Anyway, that gives us plenty of time to gather some passengers, and there are already few desperate souls waiting for this train. Good. That helps me a lot. Okay, so that's the first plan for today sorted. Now, let's think how we can expand Sheringham Station. Right, I won't make it longer, that's for sure, because it's uphill battle, and having very long station in this area is really not convenient. So I've been thinking about something very, very simple. Definitely I need to have 2 platforms, so let's get perhaps what I could do. Yeah, I'm gonna get some errors now. But I need those tracks to be limited to 20 now. 20 is a little bit excessive, no must. I would like to have, where is that? Wood 40, there we go. That's my standard track. Okay, and now I can just go for it. There we go. That's sorted. Now, platform. Obviously, I need a passenger platform. Where is that? I need standard one. Empty, British. Oh my goodness me. Can I get oh my. Can I finally get standard passenger platform? There we go. There we go. I love it. Okay, let's now put all the goodies. So that's where the stairs are. So we can now give this side a stairs. Good. And finally, a little bit of some roofing. I don't need it to be full. Let's make it unique on its own way. So the roofing will only cover middle section of the station, which is perfectly fine for me. The rest of the passengers can stay wet. I'm not bothered. Okay, I am a little bit, but we should be okay. Right, platforms. I don't want to have a track going on both sides of this platform. So what I'm thinking about is to install a cargo platform right behind passenger platform. And then smack a track that will attach to it. And this track will also have with catenary. I don't want catenary. I want normal track. No. Oh my goodness me. 140. Oh god. Yeah, finding a right track in all that. Oh, wood 40. There we go. Yeah, finding a right track on that list is absolutely terrible. But well, that's what we will get every time a game gets updated and all the mods needs to be updated. Sometimes one of the mods will get updated and it will affect many other mods. Like, I think I removed one mod from the list today just because it was deleted by the author and it was no longer installed on my PC. Because Steam does that eventually, and when someone removes the mod from the workshop, then it gets removed from every user's account as well. So eventually I found that one of the mods that I had installed is no longer installed. Thankfully I haven't used any of the assets from that mod, so everyone who used the same settings or the same setup as I did probably will notice that there is an error in regards to mods that are not installed. So have no fear. This is already well, it's a simple fix. You just have to remove the mod from the save game. So before you load the game, just press for there's like a configure option and just remove that mod. I also updated a mod list on Steam Collection, so it doesn't include that mod anymore. Right, let me just get a proper speed in here. Good. Now I can double track this area, because why not? If I'm already sorting everything out, I might as well double track both lines. So I can now remove this signal and just connect these tracks. There we go. All done, all sorted. Now signaling and we can carry on. So let me just start from here and pull those signals out. How far I am? 300 meters. Okay. We are going to have quite long sections of the tracks, which is a little bit worrisome. I will leave... Yeah. I'll take a risk and make sure that this bridge is a separate section of the track, or its own section of the track, in fact. So there are never two trains on that like a raised part, which would make sense, because if something happened on this section and there would be like 4 trains on it, it would make things very, very difficult. So perhaps I'm not sure if Rail would eventually introduce ability for few trains to happen to be on such a stretch road. However, looking at like accidents in the past, I wouldn't be actually surprised that some wise person in the rail would do such thing or something completely stupid. I'm not talking about like a human error. I'm talking about bad design, because like not everything works perfectly, unfortunately. Right, the game is suggesting me to build a bridge, and obviously I got plenty of bridge options that I could eventually go for. I could go for stone bridge without pillar. I could go for like a proper stone bridge, and it's not a bad idea. In fact, it would make this station look a little bit unique, and in fact I could go for a bridge. But there's one thing that I know for sure. I definitely need to have this crossing. Yeah, I like the system that the trains will just depart from inbound lane and slowly crawl through this section. In fact, they can crawl with 20 kilometers per hour to indicate that they need to actually slow down before that junction. So yeah, let's do that, and let's use that double slip switch, which also means that trains that are leaving the station will have a track to eventually join the main line. Okay, so that is sorted. Let's now quickly check the track speed limits. I can just turn this tool. Okay, so pretty much 120 speed limit applies after this raised section, which is fine. Up until here I can limit the tracks to like 80. Okay, that looks good. So I got 80 speed limit here. I got like 40. Yeah, 40 is right next to the station, except cargo station, which has speed limit of 20. In fact, I could make it 40 in here, but it doesn't really matter because that section has 20. Right, and finally, a signal in here would be very wise decision, and a signal in here would be very wise decision, so that we got this section separate. Right, I'm not going to install any signals in here because it makes no sense. I'd rather keep the train on the platform. But we now have a way to actually approach this station. Unfortunately, not directly, which is creating another problem, a rather logistical problem. So anything that is produced in Shaftesbury will have to be shipped, will have to be shipped to Seaton, repacked into a different train and sent back towards Sheringham. Unless I will eventually decide to build a proper tracks or a proper like a connection between these two towns. However, for now there are no such plans, so I will stick with what I got. Okay, anyway, first train is about to arrive at Shaftesbury. I got this weird bug again where my camera decides, there we go. Yeah, my camera decided to just move on its own. Right, what is wrong with you? Train 5 has some issues. Okay, and now I know what's the problem. So I definitely need to build some small crossover so the trains can eventually fix themselves. Yeah, that is going to work somehow. I mean, technically trains can... Yeah. There is a path. You need to update it. There you go. Now you can get on your way. Where is this one? Yeah. This one is already approaching the previous station, so the trains are not properly spaced. But I think the game will be able to handle that issue. At least I hope the game will do that. Right, anyway, we'll see about that. We do have some money in our bank account. So, how does this line look? It's not that heavy. And the train is about to approach this station. And I think we can take it for a spin along a brand new track and use it to come back to Carterton. What do you guys think? I think we've spent enough time building tonight, so we can get some rewards, I guess. So yeah, let's do it. So I'll jump into this train. We'll head back towards Carterton, and I will leave you with that. The video will end basically when the train reaches its destination. And in the meantime, I would like to thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to get informed about my new content, hit that notification bell button and don't forget to share your comments down below. Also, I would like to invite you to my Discord server. Jump in, have a chat, take part in any votings. You may vote for scenarios that were designed for other series that I'm also making on my channel. You can find appropriate links somewhere around my channel. You can also turn on the notifications for video on my Discord server. So if you are not fancy to use like a YouTube's notification system, I got that set up on my Discord server. So that's another good reason to eventually jump in and get things sorted. You can eventually track it from there. So jump in, have a chat. I'm always happy to have a brand new visitors and people that are watching my series. I'm always happy to hear your voice, guys. Right, so have a great day and see you all later. Out.